Who's your most important employee? Think about this person. This is going to be someone who you love the results they give. You're also probably very conscious about what you've asked them to do. You're making sure you're not pushing them too hard because they've shown loyalty. You want to make sure they're paid fairly. You want to make sure they have all the right benefits, the work environment's awesome, they can really thrive in your business. Who is this person for you? Now, the answer you should be thinking is yourself. You are the most important person as the business owner in your business. Now, I am not saying you are better than your other team members. This isn't a thing of like who's got more worth as a human. I'm just saying as the business owner, you will always be the most important employee, the most important person in your business, because no one will ever care as much as you do. No one will look at it the same way you do. No one will be as willing to go as far as you're willing to go to keep the business alive and successful. And certainly, if things are bad, no one's really going to be putting in the money to help with the cash flow like you're going to be putting in. You are the most important person in the business. Yet, you don't treat yourself that way, do you? When I talked about that before, and whoever you were thinking of, oh yeah, I want to make sure Susie's paid right. Whoever this person is, I want them to be happy. I want them to have like a thriving culture. You don't give yourself the same treatment, and I'm asking you to do that. What you're likely doing is working yourself with nonstop work hours, pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion or maybe past exhaustion. How many cups of coffee are you drinking to get through it? And so you're there working hard, putting in the hours, and you're hoping that after you pay all your team members and all the bills, that there's something left over. Hope is great. Not a good business plan, though. Hope is not a good business plan. You actually want something concrete. There's a really popular scene that I like in one of my favorite shows of all time, Seinfeld. It's the Soup Nazi episode, if you're familiar with it. Jerry and George walk into this guy's soup shop, and they call him the Soup Nazi because there's a process that you have to play or follow. There's rules to this game he's created. And there's a scene where George doesn't quite believe how militant the Soup Nazi is, and ends up not having what he ordered because the Soup Nazi yells his famous, "No soup for you."
What? No soup for you.
But this whole time, because George didn't know exactly what the rules of the game were, he thought he was playing the game the right way. And as business owners, we think we're following, like we're doing what everyone else is doing. This is the way, this is the path, this is what we're told. This is what the mentors and coaches and all these thought leaders tell us how we have to run our business, yet we have nothing to show for it. So I'm trying to, let's change the tide. Let's change the flow of how this is going and discover that the way things have been done in the past is not really a sustainable way. You need to pay yourself enough. And so I've written a book about the 3.3 rule, which is the individual application of how do I get more work done in less hours. I work up to 3 hours at a time, follow that by a 30% recovery period. And in the book, I also talk about the 3.3 system, which is the application of efficiency in the business sense. It's finding what are the areas in my business that are causing me to work more in my cash flow, the way my team is set up, the way my systems exist or don't exist, and how my clients are sold and that relationship with my clients. So one part of the 3.3 system is how do I set up the right salary so that I am in fact paying myself the right amount. As the most important employee, you're going to make sure that person gets paid. And usually you're going to want to make sure they get paid first. So what does that look like? How do you come up with the number? What is that number based on your business and how it's going? We talk about that in the 3.3 system. Because when you do that, what's going to happen is you're going to be happier. You're going to be less stressed. You're going to be healthier. It's crazy, the science that supports how the better we work, the more efficient we work, the more work-life harmony we have, the better our health is. The opposite side of that is the more grueling work hours that we're putting in, the nonstop overtime, that leads to a lot of health issues. And so let's be healthier. Then if you have healthy cash flow, your business is healthy, you're paying yourself enough, you're not going to reach that point where most business owners that burn out get, where it's, hey, I worked really hard, I have nothing to show for it. You're paying yourself the right amount. You're going to have something to show for it. We avoid one of the biggest reasons to burn out. If you're interested in buying the book where I go over the 3.3 rule and the 3.3 system, please click the link below in the description and give it a whirl. Probably a pretty good $20-ish investment.